In this episode of The Gay Bear, I'm going to be talking about my 5 top red flags that I personally run from. These are all based on my own life experiences and ex-relationships. Watch this video all the way to the end because in my opinion, number 5 is the absolute worst, and I've had it from both ex-boyfriends and members of my own family. I'd love to know about your worst red flags that you run from, so if you'd like to, please put them in the comments down below while you're watching or listening to this video. So here we go. Number 1, he hates getting out of bed. If your guy hates getting out of bed early in the morning, or he never gets up early at all, also if his parents said that getting him up in the morning when he was a teenager to go to school was an absolute nightmare. In my experience, he's probably taken this into adulthood, and if you're having to wake him up now, you're going to be waking him up for work and trying to get him to leave on time every day for the rest of your life. Number 2, he's addicted to his mobile phone. If your man is addicted to his mobile phone and he can't be apart from it for just a few hours, if he sits on the bed or the sofa and just scrolling all day, if the idea of him leaving his mobile phone at home while you and him go out for a walk, or if it runs out of battery and he has an anxiety attack, in my experience, he will be lost in his phone. He will avoid doing the things he's supposed to do, such as washing his clothes, paying bills, or doing things around the house. He is basically lost in his phone and you come second. Number 3. He compares his life to others on social media. If your man spends hours on social media looking at other people's lives and not spending his time with you, despite him acknowledging that he understands that those people's lives aren't real and they've just posted the best moments, but he still sits there and compares his life to theirs. I've had long conversations with people where they acknowledge and they agree that they understand that the lives they are looking at are just other people's best moments and they are not real. I have seen people on the beach taking selfies, changing what they're wearing and then moving to a different part of the beach and then taking more selfies. I've seen people in Monaco standing next to supercars that aren't theirs, like posing next to people's supercars, pretending that they're theirs. Influencers rent apartments and supercars for the weekend in cities so they can be seen, like with having photographs taken or having videos taken of them in supercars and in penthouse apartments. Instagram or other social apps, not only Instagram, portrays what the Instagrammers or the influencers think that rich people's lives are actually like. And it's not true. None of it is true. In my life, I have met 3 obscenely rich people, and you would have never ever known that they were rich, obscenely rich. They wore normal clothes, they shopped in normal places, they didn't want to be famous, they drove a normal car. They never mentioned money. They never flashed how much money they had. Honestly, when I was 27, my ex-boyfriend was an investment banker. Actually, I would say he was my sugar daddy, but he never bought me anything because I never wanted anything. So I'll say boyfriend. Well, say boyfriend. So my boyfriend when I was 27 was an investment banker, and he literally was a normal guy. He had so much money, it was crazy, but we used to go out to dinner and then we'd go home, cuddle on the sofa or watch movies together. So he never ever mentioned money, he never mentioned how much money he had, he never really wore designer clothes. He just went to work, came home, I cooked him food and we cuddled on the sofa. Number 4, he lacks basic organizational skills. If you and your man have booked a holiday and your bag is packed and sat down by the front door with your passport 24 to 48 hours before you're due to fly, if you know your route to the airport, if you've put a full tank of gas in your car, and if you've even booked your airport parking, I say congratulations, sir, and I bow to you. Very, very well done, because you and I are the same type of person. and maybe one day we might get married. However, if your man, a few hours before you are due to leave, has not even packed his bag yet and he's running around the house asking you where his shoes are at 7 o'clock when you're supposed to be flying at 9:30, ditch him, ditch that man. In my experience, he will never change. You will be running for every single flight, hoping that they haven't closed the gate yet. This holiday did not come out of the blue. It was not a surprise. It was organised, paid for and planned a long time ago, and he didn't do his part. He lacks basic organisational skills, and he will never ever change. So in my opinion, huge red flag, and I personally would dump him. Number 5, he tells you that you can't do something or he puts you down. If your boyfriend tells you that you can't do something or he puts you down, for me, this is the absolute biggest, worst red flag that I have ever experienced, because people will tell you not to do things that they are scared to do themselves, or they fear that you will become more successful than them and you might leave them. I have experienced this with 2 previous boyfriends and members of my own family. And it was done, I guess, as a way to keep me close by and keep me under control. So these are genuine, real examples that I have heard in my life. You cannot move to another city, you do not know anybody there, you should just stay here where you know everybody and it's safe. You should not try to be your own boss, you will just fail. Keep working at the job where you are, it's more secure. You will never lose the weight. If you join the gym, you just won't go and it's a waste of money. You can't move to another country, you don't speak the language, you will never find a job there. These are real quotes. These are real quotes from ex-boyfriends and family members. And now, as I'm older, I just recognize that it was their fear that they were transferring onto me, or it was their way of controlling me because they felt if I became more successful, I would just leave. If a boyfriend does this to me, it's the worst red flag. I will drop them and run. I will never ever stop trying to do new things. I will never ever stop trying to be more successful. I will never ever ever stop trying to be the best absolute version of me that I can be until my very, very, very last breath. I will continue. Now, I would like to know, what are your red flags? What are the flags that make you drop someone and run? Please write them in the comments down below. I would love to know if somebody has specifically told you that you can't do something. You are incapable of doing X, and this is the reason why. Put it in the comments down below. I would really, really love to know, and I'd love to know if you made it a success. If you liked this video of my top 5 red flags that I personally run from, then maybe you will like this video, which is my top 11 reasons of why I love being gay. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope to see you in my next one. Have a fantastic day, a fantastic weekend, and most importantly, mwah, bear kisses.